Hi everyone, today's video is about the writing process. The stages of the writing process involve pre-writing, organizing, drafting, and revising. As we go through the video, I'll cover each one of these in more detail, but I'll give you a quick overview. So pre-writing is after you've selected a topic, write down all the ideas related to your topic. If necessary or required, conduct some research on your topic. Next, we will be organizing. This is where you arrange your ideas in either a formal or informal outline. Make sure all of your ideas come back to your thesis statement. When you draft, this is when you begin to write. And then when you revise or proofread, this is where you'll look back at your draft and check for coherence and development of ideas before you go into grammar punctuation. So the first step is pre-writing. Pre-writing can look like a number of different things. It could be mapping, where you have an idea in the center and you branch off those ideas into bubbles, or free writing, which is just where you begin like a journal entry. You start at the top of a page and just start writing ideas and ideas. It could be in sentences, it could be a paragraph, it could look like anything. A list is just a list of ideas. Questions could be a list of questions, etc. So pre-writing is an exploratory stage of the writing process. Consider this the no judgment zone of writing because it is your opportunity to write down everything that comes to mind without censoring or editing yourself. Try pre-writing either in front of a screen or on paper. Do not reread, do not erase or correct anything that you write. When you run out of things to jot down, take a look at your pre-writing and see what you think about your topic. Do you need to expand your topic so that you have more areas or ideas to explore, or is your topic too large to tackle for this type of assignment? Well, this would be a good time to come to this realization. If you are actively working on an assignment, excuse me, you can pause this video and take a look at your topic and try brainstorming before moving on to the next point. If not, if you're ready to go, let's go. And one thing I want to point out is the only wrong way to pre-write is to not pre-write. So really, any shape that your pre-writing takes is a good first step in the writing process. The next thing you would do after you pre-write is come up with a thesis statement. Now your thesis statement could be tentative, where it changes. It could change between at this point of your writing process and the end. And that should happen because your ideas will develop and you might end up writing something very different than what you began writing about. So what is a thesis statement? A thesis statement presents the purpose of the essay. It ties all the ideas together along with the examples in your essay. It is usually about one sentence, but it can be two depending on the length of your assignment. And it should be placed at the bottom of your introduction paragraph. Now, how can you make sure that you are addressing your thesis statement throughout your essay? Your body paragraph will begin with a topic sentence which should directly relate to your thesis statement. And you want to think of your thesis statement like the promise of this is what you will be proving throughout the rest of your paper. How do we write a thesis statement? So a thesis statement should have two main components. One is the topic, and the other is the purpose or outcome of writing about that topic. So for example, if you wanted to put it in very simple terms, you could say my topic is this because of this. Of course, without saying those particular words. So topic is what your essay is about. The position or idea, which is this part here, would be a specific aspect of your topic that you're exploring. And then the purpose, outcome, or reasoning are what makes your topic worth exploring. Make sure your thesis passes the so what test. So imagine that you wrote your thesis and you tell it to someone and they say, so what? Why would I be interested in reading about that? If you can pass the so what test, then you have written a strong thesis statement. Here's an example of an argumentative thesis statement. Technology has decreased our level of connectedness to others because it allows us to disconnect from the people in our physical environment, and it does not foster the social skills needed in order to help us connect to those around us. And as you can see, it has a topic, a position, and a reason. At this point, we can pause to practice your thesis statement. So if you are working on a thesis statement right now, you can pause this video and make sure that your thesis statement passes the so what test. The next step in the writing process is the organization. Now that you've sketched down all of your thoughts on your topic and drafted a thesis, you will begin organizing your ideas in an outline. Take a look at an outline template to help guide you through the steps of a formal outline. When you are organizing ideas, there are three common methods of organization. There are three common methods. There's chronological order, where you arrange ideas in order of time. There's spatial order, a method of organization that arranges the ideas according to physical characteristics or appearances. And there's order of importance, and this is a method that arranges ideas according to their significance or importance. While outlining your essay, make sure that you're developing one idea per paragraph. I like to say that we should keep our paragraphs between 5 and 7 sentences. They can be a little longer, but not too long. Make sure that you are transitioning between ideas and paragraphs using transitional phrases. The first sentence of all body paragraphs are topic sentences. These are like mini thesis statements for the paragraph, so they state what the paragraph is about. They can also be transitions between paragraphs by showing how the previous paragraph relates to the current one. Separate your ideas from your examples. You should prioritize your ideas and then support your ideas with concrete examples. Don't forget to use proper format for incorporating quotes, paraphrases, or summaries from sources in your paragraphs. Always include in-text citations. You don't want to waste time trying to figure out where you found this quote and what the documentation should be for it. And begin your works cited page as soon as you begin incorporating your sources. So add an extra page at the end and begin documenting as you work through your outline. The next step is the draft. Once you have completed your outline, you begin to write your essay. Think of the outline as the skeletal structure of your essay, and the draft is when you begin to fill the skeleton in with muscles and tissue. When you begin writing your draft, you want to focus on developing the ideas you plotted in your outline. Do not confuse drafting with editing. At this point, you should be filling in the gaps of your outline, making sure that all the ideas are fully explained and connecting logically. Don't forget to include in-text citations. Make sure you sandwich your quotes, paraphrases or summaries, and signal phrases and the in-text citation. For an example, you can check out your materials on MLA-style documentation or any documentation that you would be using for your essay. The final step is revision, which is editing and proofreading. And here's the difference between the two. So when you are editing, you look at the content. Have you checked your assignment requirements? Are your ideas well developed? The structure. Is your essay well organized? Do you have an introduction and conclusion? Do all your paragraphs support your thesis? Do your ideas transition? Does each paragraph have a clear topic sentence? Does each paragraph stick to one main idea? For clarity, you want to ask yourself, have you defined all important terms? Are your ideas clearly stated? Are you using your own voice and vocabulary rather than relying on a thesaurus? For citations, have you appropriately cited paraphrases, quotes, and ideas you have gotten from sources? Are your citations in the correct format? For additional help, you can use resources to help you for your documentation. When proofreading, so once you are done with your editing, then you take a break and come back for proofreading. Please don't rely on spell checkers. Sometimes you have included a word that, although is spelled correctly, is not the correct word for your sentence. For example, there versus there, or complement versus complement. The spelling is different, commonly confused words. Double check your grammar. Check for passive versus active voice and common sentence structure errors like run-on sentences or comma splices. Circle every punctuation mark while you're going through your proofreading. Proofread for only one kind of error at a time. By focusing on one error at a time, you can remain focused. Read slowly and read every word. Try reading your writing out loud. If you stumble while reading out loud, mark the paper because you may have found an error. Separate the text into individual sentences. Read each sentence separately, looking for grammar, punctuation, or spelling errors. Read the paper backwards. Content, punctuation, and grammar won't make any sense, so your focus will be entirely on the spelling of each word. You can also read backwards sentences backwards sentence by sentence to check grammar. This will help you avoid becoming distracted by content issues. Proofreading is a learning process. Okay, so here's a revision checklist. We'll talk about subject, audience, purpose, organization, paragraphing, sentences, and things to check last. When we consider our subject, audience, and purpose, here are some questions you want to ask yourself. What is the most important thing I want to say about my subject? Who am I writing this paper for? What would my reader want to know about the subject? What does my reader already know about it? Why do I think the subject is worth writing about? Will my reader think my paper is worth reading? What verb explains what I'm trying to do in this paper? Tell a story, compare X and Y, describe Z. Does my first paragraph answer questions 1 through 4? If not, why not? When we look at organization, here are some questions. How many specific points do I make about my subject? Did I overlap or repeat any points? Did I leave my points out or add some that aren't relevant to the main idea? How many paragraphs did I use to talk about each point? Why did I talk about them in this order? Should the order be changed? How did I get from one point to the next? What signposts did I give the reader? Here are some questions to ask of every paragraph. What job is this paragraph supposed to do? How does it relate to the paragraph before and after it? What is the topic idea? Will my reader have trouble finding it? How many sentences did it take to develop the topic idea? Can I substitute better examples, reasons, or details? How well does the paragraph hold together? How many levels of generality does it have? Are the sentences different lengths and types? Do I need transitions? When I read the paragraph out loud, did it flow smoothly? On the sentence level, here are some questions you should ask of every sentence. Which sentences in my paper do I like the most? Which ones do I like the least? Can my reader see what I'm saying? What words could I substitute for people, things, this, that, aspect, etc.? Is this sentence fluffed? Can I combine the sentence with another one? Can I add adjectives and adverbs to find a more lively verb? And here are some things to check last. Did I check the punctuation and spelling? What kinds of grammar or punctuation problems do I need to work on? How does my paper end? Did I keep the promises I made to my reader at the beginning of the paper? When I read the assignment again, did I miss anything? What do I like best about this paper? Did I include documentation for all sources, both in text and reference page? And last but not least, why do we use the writing process? Some of us want to begin writing our first and final draft of our essay all at once. This is how we end up with what we call writer's block. The writing process takes time because it is a process. However, if you get in the habit of it, you'll save more time in the end. Don't forget to proofread before submitting the final draft. Happy writing!